even know why I'm clapping right now. Is it because something actually happened in this episode? Is it because I'm a cheap date that will continue to crawl back to this franchise no matter how many times it wrongs me? Or is it because the sound of clapping helps me sync the audio, and now that I make videos, I care about that stuff? Olé! We start the episode and Hannah Basic is appreciating the cityscape of Latvia, which actually has nothing to do with latkes. That was my bad, sorry. She looks around and says, I feel like I'm in one of the fairy tale movies I used to watch as a little girl. Did anyone else know that there were fairy tale movies in Alabama? Are you sure that it wasn't just her cousins Jebediah and Seesaw putting on old sock puppet shows? I digress. Golfer Garrett gets his first one-on-one and everything is going all fine and dandy until these naked hippies fall out of the sky? Have naked hippies ever fallen out of the sky during your one-on-one date? You may be entitled to compensation. So Hannah Basic and Golfer Garrett are just, chilling in Latvia as you do. And they literally look up. I don't know how else to state this. And there's like a plane of some sort. And these two people propel out of it and they're naked. The two naked hippies tell Hannah Basic and Golfer Garrett that they too will be naked skydiving. Yes, awesome. So excited. The Alabama couple gets naked and yes, skydives. And also like hugging each other. And I don't know how the physics works, but when you skydive, don't you go upside down? And like if the guy is like this and they're hugging each other, he's flaccid, and they're hugging each other, and this is Hannah Basic, and then they jump upside down. If this is upside down, guys, this is how you get pregnant. Unfortunately, they are forced to put on clothes for the night portion of the one-on-one, but Hannah Basic seriously knocks it out of the park yet again. She's wearing pink bell bottoms. She's wearing a pink huge fur coat. Like, it is disco Barbie to the extreme, and I love it. It's probably my favorite look of the season so far. Golfer Garrett bravely opens up to her and tells her that he used to identify as Football Garrett, and then he decided to go with the flow and follow golf as his passion. And when he says go with the flow, Hannah does a little, ciao, bro. Then they do the contractually obligated dancing by yourself in a public place, because literally this is a part of every single date. But look at this. Is this the same exact place that The Room was shot? I mean, was The Room shot in Latvia? Golfer Garrett gets a rose, and it's finally time for the group date. Instead of naked sky hugging, we're keeping it simple and just doing a Latvian pub crawl. The Abercrombie & Fitch sales associates follow their queen around this food market, and Hannah Basic grabs a pickle, and it's a big pickle. Like, this is like someone who wears at least a size 12 shoe, and she just goes right for it. I can't even simulate this right now, but Dylan and Patrick Swayze have the best reaction to this, and Kenan Thompson could never. After a couple shots of Latvian moonshine and after deep-throating, 3 pickles, Hannah Basic is finally drunk enough to open up to them and tell them that she went naked skydiving. The hottest 8th grader at church is not pleased with this and says, her body is a temple, and for anyone to see that who's not her husband... I hate this guy. Seriously, the year 2019, the year of our Lord, the year of Rihanna, the year of Lizzo, and you're gonna slut shame on national television? I am so mad that he said this. It's not because her body is a temple, it's because you're a prude. Get over yourself. Patrick Swayze calms me down here because he's wearing like spandex suit pants, and he looks at Hannah Basic and says, I pray to God you're my angel. My God. He also defends her when the hottest 8th grader at church tries to slut shame and says, she's living Riga to the fullest. I love this guy so much. Even if at the wrong angle, yeah, he kind of looks like Sloth from the Goonies. Patrick Swayze still gets the group date rose, and everybody does the truffle shuffle. It's finally time for pilot Porny Peter's first one-on-one, so you know things are about to get sensual. Hey, did anyone order a pizza? Doctors hate him! They venture out to some culty Latvian spa, and some chick named Daria tells them, after this, you will never be the same. Is everyone about to lose their virginities? Because I'm in. Pilot Porny Peter and Hannah Basic go into a sauna, and they start making out, and he like pushes her chest down so that he could get on top of her. Like, I'm sweating. I'm drooling. I was like swooling during this part. Like, I know there are a lot of makeout sessions on this show, but something about this particular one, I was swooling. There's no other way to put it. Like, I feel my fertility count increasing. We cut to the night portion of the date, and they recap their sauna makeout by saying the word hot approximately 737 times.
That's hot. That's hot.
So I'm still recovering from this intense makeout session, and then Pilot Porny Peter just goes off, not even taking my well-being into consideration, and starts speaking fluent Espanol. Estoy muerta. I also want to give congratulations to Pilot Porny Peter because he's not the whitest boy on this show. Congrats. He goes back to the Latvian Airbnb with his rose, and Jed Y'all is not having it. He buttons up his Free People denim jacket and puts on his finest turquoise ring, and he goes into Hannah Basic's balcony and starts just serenading her with the song that he actually wrote in the pageant group date, and it's really cute. Meanwhile, golfer Garrett is confronting the hottest 8th grader at church for taking issue with their naked sky hugging, and the hottest 8th grader at church gets so mad, and it's hilarious to watch him get mad because you could tell he's one of those people that heard one person say a phrase and it sounded cool, so he's trying to like repeat it and make it his own.
The administration's plan for peace in the Middle East is shallow and pedantic.
I agree. Shallow and pedantic.
I agree as well. Shallow and pedantic.
The phrase here was, the door is right there. And he kept saying it even though golfer Garrett was like already walking towards the door. All right, dude, peace. The door is right there. I know, I'm headed to the door. The door's right there. The door is right there. Yeah, dude, I'm touching the door. I know. At the end of this exchange, golfer Garrett hits him with a sweet dreams. My God, golfer Garrett is just laying it out on the table. I love this guy. During the Abercrombie & Fitch Sales Associates break time, Hannah Basic unexpectedly shows up and asks to speak to the hottest 8th grader at church. He bolts up so fast, like, he clearly has no idea that he's about to get lectured for slut-shaming in the year of our Lord. Like, this is a federal offense under my queen, Amber Rose. Hannah Basic goes off at him, and the hottest 8th grader at church clearly has no idea how to be confronted with anything. Hannah Basic ends it with, you don't own me, you don't own my body, and the whole country of Latvia started blasting Ariana Grande at the same second. It was so crazy. Oh holiness, Chris Harrison finally wakes up from his sacred nap to tell the boys that there won't be a cocktail party and we're just going straight to the rose ceremony. Oh my God, are we actually getting a normally formatted episode? Are we getting like 2 dates and a rose ceremony in their normal structure? Is it my birthday? Is it Latvian Christmas? We finally hand out some roses and they go to Jed Y'all, MikeJohnson, who says, for my whiskey southern queen, absolutely. Hot Kennedy Nephew, who I miss dearly, and the hottest 8th grader at church. Because red flags don't matter, okay? Are you writing this down? This week's blooper is one of my favorite of all time because we finally get down to why Jed Y'all's head is so big. He's a piano prodigy, duh. Jed Y'all is playing a song about Latvia. MikeJohnson is dancing. Patrick Swayze is dancing. Finally, the whole reason he earned that nickname, and he finally dances in this episode. Hallelujah. Like, this is how you win me back, you know? Yes, I'm a cheap date. Yes, I'll crawl back every time. But this episode, I'm just so happy. I'm like swooling. This week's blooper.